June 25th, 2009. It's a day that rocked my world. That's when everything changed, and the world said goodbye to me. Michael Jackson, the king of pop. I was only 50, and I had big plans, especially the one where my kids, Prince, Paris, and Blanket, would see me perform live on stage. I was working hard on This Is It, a series of shows that would have blown everyone away. But fate had something else in store for me. The news of my death hit hard. Michael Jackson gone? It didn't seem real. But what really happened? If you look it up, they'll say it was a heart problem caused by some powerful drugs. They might even call me a drug addict. But it's not that simple. The truth is more complicated. In this story, I'll dig into what really happened and ask, could I have been saved? Looking at my fancy lifestyle, it's surprising to know that the greatest entertainer of all time faced a lot of pain. Here's why. In 1984, while I was filming a Pepsi commercial, a firework accidentally set my hair on fire. That night, I suffered serious burns to my head and body, and that's when I started using pain medication and getting plastic surgery. Then, in 1999, during one of my shows, I fell 50 feet due to a problem with the equipment. This fall damaged my spine permanently. After the show, I collapsed and had to go to the hospital, where I was given strong painkillers. Since then, dealing with back pain and taking pain medication became a regular part of my life. Stress and pain caused other serious health issues for me. One of the worst was insomnia. There were times when I couldn't sleep for days, and the only thing that helped was taking painkillers and sedatives. By the end of the 90s, I had developed a serious addiction to sedatives. I was so used to using it to sleep that I even called it my milk, because it looked like milk. So, back in early 2009, I signed a big deal with a company to do a bunch of concerts in London. It was supposed to be my big comeback after a long time away from the spotlight. They called it the This Is It Tour. We were supposed to start rehearsing in late April at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. But getting ready for those shows was tough. I hadn't done big concerts in over 10 years, so getting back into shape was hard work. I had to dance, sing, and work with the band and crew for hours almost every day of the week. I needed to be on top of my game, and to deal with all the aches and pains, I needed more than just a good night's sleep. So I thought I'd rely on some strong medicines to help me out. But using powerful sedatives isn't as simple as taking a pill. As part of our deal with the concert organizers, I got a personal doctor to help me out. Doctor knew me well and understood what I needed. Here's what happened. After rehearsals each night, I'd head back home to Los Angeles, and Doctor would be there to take care of me. We even set up a room in my house just to give me medicine. And every night, Doctor would give me sedatives to help me sleep, right there in my own house, even though we didn't have all the proper medical equipment we needed. It was a pretty unusual setup, but it's what we did to get ready for those concerts. Let me break down what happened on the night I passed away. It was a pretty normal evening, nothing special. Doctor gave me a small dose of sedative and put me on a drip. The idea was to help me fall asleep and keep me that way. But here's the tricky part. When you're deeply sedated, your body might forget to breathe on its own. Now, usually, the brain controls your breathing. But when you're under heavy sedation, it can't do its job properly. The problem is, it's tough to know when someone crosses from being just drowsy to deeply sedated. And this sedative I was given can easily push you into that deep sedation zone without warning. That night, my body reacted strangely, and I ended up in deep sedation without Doctor realizing it. There were no machines to warn him that something was wrong. And to make matters worse, Doctor stepped out of the room just when I stopped breathing. When he came back and saw I was in trouble, he thought it was a problem with my heart, not my breathing. So instead of giving me oxygen, he tried to revive my heart with CPR. But by the time he realized what was really happening and called for help, it was too late. The truth is, my friends and family knew about my struggles, but nobody really took action to help me get clean. Maybe if someone had insisted I go to rehab, things would have turned out differently. But it seemed like everyone preferred the idea of me performing, even if it meant relying on drugs. And that's how it all went down. That's how I ended up leaving this world. Even though what I passed through, I still believe in music's power to bring us together and make things better. Let's work together to make the world a happier place through music.